How's it going? This is Chad with ecovapors.com, and today I want to show you how to build the new coil that I'm pretty sure I created called the tunnel blanket. The tunnel blanket is where you take a macro coil and a micro coil, or you could take a micro coil and a nano coil, and then the way you wick it is kind of like a belt. You blanket one coil. I'll show you here in a few seconds. So let's go ahead and get started on that, and then I'll touch back with you here in just a second. Okay, so today we're going to be building the tunnel blanket coil, which is a coil I came up with about last week. It's extremely flavorful. This is a Little Boy clone tank. I really like this tank. It's one of my favorites. I mainly use the Toe Batty and the Little Boy clone. So, I'm going to start with about a foot of 22 gauge Kanthal wire. And essentially what we're going to be doing is building a micro coil and then a nano coil in the same coil. So this one here is going to be number 0. I think it's about 2 millimeters. Actually, you know what? I'll do you one better. I'll just use a 2 millimeter screwdriver. What we're going to do is we're going to do 4 wraps. Okay, so there's 4 wraps. And now we need to build the nano part of the coil. And how I do that is I'll normally just take a screwdriver. I will hold it right here and I'll just wrap it. 2, 3, 4. Let's do 4 wraps. I'm going to cut off some of this excess so it can stop aggravating me. And essentially, that's the beginning of the tunnel blanket coil. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take the screwdrivers and adjust it to where it's sitting basically on top of the other coil, but not precisely. And then take this wire here, bring it back over. So that's how it should be ready to put into the tank. Like such. We're just going to tighten up one side, straighten that back down, try to get that thick wire through there. Go ahead and tighten up that one as well. Then we'll adjust it. You do not want it sitting on that center post. So once again, 4 wraps. Just do 4 wraps. Okay, cut off your leads. So that there is the tunnel blanket. Put on the resistance meter, see what she's doing, and that dropped really quick. Okay, so now we're going to fire it. So we can tighten it all up. Makes for a super flavorful coil. Alright, so next step, try to get it close up here. Next step, we're going to move on to the wicking. Okay, so now that I'm back, I think the coil should be cooled down enough that I'll be able to build on it. I'm going to take organic cotton ball. It's going to pull me a little strand out, something to work with. Twist it up a little bit. I'm going to show you a reason I call this a tunnel blanket. So what we're going to do is we're going to wick this coil like such. Okay. Now we're going to cover this other coil. And so I don't want to go inside of it, I just want to be on the outside, on the top of it. Also, it's a little easier to adjust after it gets a little liquid on it. But essentially you want something like that where you can still see through it. And now we'll do the other side. There she is. Dual tunnel blanket. Now we're going to put juice on her and see what she does. Okay, so today I'm using my all-time favorite Eco Reserve from ecovapors.com. Little name drop there. Nothing wrong with shamelessly self-promoting. Want to get this good and saturated, and sometimes you can after you get like a little bit of liquid on it, you can fire it a little bit. You kind of heat it up, and then we'll kind of adjust it a little bit more, make sure it's doing what we want it to do. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good vape. Alright. Put back on your top cap, line up the coil holes, line up the air holes with the coils, sorry. I'm going to juice a little bit more. And let's go back to the first screen. Okay, and we're back. One of the great things about this coil is that the flavor is just really intense. It's an immense flavor. It tastes delicious. It makes me use about 30 mils a day. Another thing is that you get probably 4 to 6 hits off the coil, so it does not dry out really fast, and that's also a cool thing about it. And yeah, so it's one of my favorite builds, so I decided to show it to you. Another cool thing I want to mention is this awesome t-shirt with a pink Lamborghini on it. You can't go wrong. We have them on our website in case you're interested. And yeah, I think that's it for this build. So this is Chad with ecovapors.com, and I will see you next time for more builds.